What's going on, everybody? This is John with Action-Flix.com coming at you with the Action-Flix podcast. And boy, I just got out of a movie. Listen, this is the first time I think I've ever seen a movie, and I'm going to be talking to the director right after I seen the movie. So I just got out of a screening of Primitive War. You all know it. I've been advertising. I've been hyping it up for a long time now. If you love war movies, if you love dinosaur movies, if you thought that Jurassic Park was a great franchise, but you just needed more blood in your dinosaur movies, well, boy, do we got one for you. And I got the man that directed it, co-wrote it, produced it. I'm pretty sure he probably served craft services to the cast and crew at the same time. He actually is at it. He just got out of a screening of the movie as well. So let's bring him in. Filmmaker Luke Sparke. Luke, how you doing?
Hello. Yes, I'm straight out of a screening of Primitive War myself. Surprised some fans.
Well, that's awesome. I'm here in Panama City Beach. So, funny story. Like, I didn't think that was playing near me because, like, they didn't announce it till like a couple days ago, and then I was like, oh. But then I was working, so I had to switch. And a kind person at my job switched with me, so I was able to work today and go see the movie because I've been waiting to see this movie for a long time. I've been hyping it up. The trailers look phenomenal. Luke, I've been a fan of yours, of course, with Occupation Rainfall, your great sci-fi films that you did. I am such a fan of those movies. And when I knew that you were developing this movie based on the books and everything, I couldn't have been more excited. I'm a fan of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, of course, but this literally kicks it in the ass. I got to tell you. So now that I have you and I get to talk to you, first of all, what's the response been like? You just seen the movie with a bunch of people, so tell me, how is it like seeing it with fans?
It's I can only tell you what I know, and it's landing well. People who've come up to me, people online, texting me. Their Twitter went off this morning just saying how much they fucking love it. So, yeah, it's the first day, and I'm hoping that the Thursday previews can lead to word of mouth and keep it going, get it out there.
Absolutely. Like I'm doing my best. Like I shared a bunch of interviews with you guys and some clips today on my website. I am totally trying to promote this because I swear, like this is and I got to remind people, this is an independent production. This isn't a big budget studio film because like when you watch the trailers and everything, a lot of people are thinking that. I'm like, no, this is like totally independent. Tell us, how was this the next project for you to do? What made you want to do this one? What made you want to adapt it to the cinema? And were you ever hesitant that you're able to bring it to the screen, when you started doing it?
Yeah, well, as you might know, we sort of announced that we've got the rights back in like 2021. As we did a sort of announcement, people picked it up then, being like, "This sounds cool," and then I shopped around Hollywood, and I just didn't get there. And people were like, "Nah, this is just never going to happen. You're not Steven Spielberg. How can you do dinosaurs? Blah blah blah." And then I came back from my last movie, which was a crime movie I did, and I just said, "Screw it, we're going to do it ourselves." And we just decided to do it because I always believed in it, because it's the sort of movie that I want to see. I want to make movies that I want to see because I think if I want to see it, there must be other people out there like me that want to see it too. And I just knew it would work, so we just had to back ourselves all the way on this one, and make it happen.
It's a phenomenal story. Like I said, like watching the movie, like and my theater was packed, so I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that. And like this, like great reactions, like this, like I can't tell you, like people were applauding, people were cheering, people were laughing for good reason. Like when certain moments happened and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing. Like I said, I'm wearing my Godzilla shirt. I didn't have a dinosaur shirt, so I figured I'd wear Godzilla in preparation for talking to you, but like I said, Jurassic Park is such a beloved franchise, and of course, what Steven Spielberg did with it and everything, and it's kind of like set the precedent. Like nobody's done dinosaur movies since, because they've kind of like taken that over, which kind of stinks in a way, because then because like this is all that we're getting, and not only are the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies good, but it's like it's PG-13. It's like you got kids running away from dinosaurs and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, how many times can you see stuff like that? But this is in your face war. These are soldiers. These are battle hardened soldiers, and it's like a free for all. So just talk about the concept and like I'm trying to put it in a right frame of reference, but talk about how, like, like, because obviously you came from the books and everything, and actually you co-wrote this with the author of the book. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think it comes up in IMDb that we co-wrote it. He
Yeah.
gave me the rights. I adapted it myself. He gets the
Okay.
credit
So
for
you adapted it.
writing the amazing book. So big. Pardon?
I said you adapt. So he gave you the rights and you wrote the script.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So big props to Ethan for giving me the go ahead to do it. And yeah, I mean, look, I think the pitch was, Platoon meets Jurassic Park. And it was kind of, I think there's a gap in the market of dinosaur fans because, like myself, we grew up with Jurassic Park. I saw it when I was 9 years old, changed my life, wanted to be a director, amazing movie.
Hmm.
I love Spielberg, I love James Cameron. There's a lot of aliens influence in this movie as well. But it was sort of pitched as a lot of my generation wants maybe that franchise to mature as they mature, but it can't for reasons that are obvious, and that's nothing. That's their thing. And I'm not saying anything good or bad about it. I love the
Right.
Jurassic franchise. Motorbikes with raptors. When I saw that, I was like, that's fucking sick. Um, but there is a gap in the market that people want to see something like this, and so do I. So again, like I said, if I want to see it, other people want to, and it's been proven online. Even just the lead up to this, the sort of the base that's really got behind it and gone, yes, we want to see more of this. Like, I help run the social media on this movie because we're so independent. Like, I'm helping do all that, so I see all the comments and I see all the things, good and bad. But yeah, just to see the groundswell of people being like, this could work, and I hope this works. And now I see people today saying this does work. It's gratifying, obviously, to pitch it out and spend, since 2021, now it's 2025, that many years of my life to sort of make this happen. It's good.
Awesome. So let's talk about the cast. You got a great cast. Like, so you got Ryan Quanten. He's pretty much the lead. He's the star of the movie. He plays Sergeant Baker, and then, of course, Jeremy Piven, Jericho. Love that name. Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica. Like, so talk about getting these individuals into it. So this is basically like all my favorite like franchises put into one movie with these actors.
Same here. Like, whenever I cast a movie, you probably know from Occupation Rainfall or
Yeah.
Occupation with Tim Morrison, Ken Jeong, Jason. It's just I cast who I want to work with because I'm a massive fan myself of movies and franchises and IP, and I'm a big nerd. So I just wanted to work with people who I was like, oh my god, I love Honorage. Oh my god, I love True Blood. Battlestar, Nick Weschler and the boys. It's just, I'm just a big fanboy. So on set, working with those guys was amazing, and it really was a great cast. Sometimes you work with people and some cast gel, some cast don't. These guys really stuck together as a unit. Ryan really made sure that they were a unit on and off set. And because we were such a small indie production working in the ravines and the mountains and the rainforest of Australia, he was like, come on, guys, let's help the crew. Let's get the cameras up to the next location. Let's everyone pitch in and help out. So it was a real sort of mentality on set to make this work both on and off camera.
So again, going back to Ryan, Ryan's becoming quite the action star himself. So I actually saw him. I was able to interview a couple people from Section 8, the movie that he did. So talk about what he brings to the table, because of course we all know him from True Blood, but he's kind of got that reserved, kind of action star quality going for him.
He does, and that's why I thought he'd be a perfect Baker. But yeah, like I said, like straight away as soon as we talked, he got it. He got what I wanted. He gave me more than what I wanted. He had his own ideas, and the moment he got it and he knew the cast, he got a WhatsApp chat together with all the other Vulture Squad guys, and I was on there too, and they were just like talking through it. He was like working them, and before they even got on set, before they even got to the production office. And he just kept that mentality every day. And I think it shows on screen because he really gives it his all. And it comes across really well. I really enjoy his performance in the movie.
Now, talk about Jeremy Piven. Now, of course, he brings some star power to it. We all know him from Entourage and everything. He's usually known for the comedic side, which he does kind of show a little bit of this. His character is kind of a dick in a way, though, in this movie, but in a cool way. So talk about working with Jeremy, because he is such an awesome actor.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Full Metal Jacket in a way. Like the military, if you do the military right, sometimes it can come across very dry humor. that a
Right.
lot of civilians are like, that's kind of funny, but that's how they, it's how some people operate. So we went with that sort of aspect. Of course, I love Ari Gold. He didn't want to go exactly Ari Gold in Vietnam, but with the edits that I did, I think that comes across either way. Whether you think that or not, when I was in the edit, I had lots of fun editing his scenes together because he gave me lots of different takes with lots of, him and I had the same sort of rapport of how to do shoot a scene where I said action and we kind of played it 3 or 4 times before we said cut. So it keeps that live energy going. So it wasn't like cut, have a drink, have a coffee, have a smoke, think about it, come back. It was like, let's go and keep going. And he was just giving me like, throwing fireballs every couple of takes. So that worked out really well.
And then last but not least, let's talk about Trisha Helfer. We all know her from Battlestar Galactica. Russian accent in this one. She plays a Russian. She actually plays part of the experiment that kind of like creates all this madness. So like like she's such an awesome actress. So talk about like was it hard for her to adapt that accent, like, or was she just like did she just get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. She signed on immediately as soon as I talked to her. I wanted to work with her for a while, so it was great to get her. And she went straight into learning the accent, getting that down pat. But just a wonderful human being as well. Just again on set, just absolutely just every day she was there for me. She knew what the scene needed. She knew what I needed. She allowed me to concentrate on everything else I had to, which was like a lot on this movie, production design and the visual effects and everything else. So really carried herself well and just gelled with the Vulture Squad and had that rapport going on with them. So every day was a blessing to work with these guys. It was just amazing.
So I'm a fan of military war movies. I'm a product of the 80s. So like in the mid to late 80s, there's a lot of Vietnam movies. Of course, you had Platoon, you had Hamburger Hill. I was also a fan of Tour of Duty. There was the short-lived TV series that was out back in the day. So I'm already a fan of this. And my biggest compliment to you is you could take the dinosaurs out of this movie and I would still love this movie because of the regular action scenes, like the one scene like right here where they go into the prison of war, that like chef's kiss. I'm watching this and like I'm like, this is the greatest. And there's not even any dinosaur. It's like that's the biggest compliment I could give to you, because if you take the dinosaurs out, this is still a movie I want to watch. So talk about that context. Was that what you're going for? Like, hey, this is going to be a great war movie, but hey, there's dinosaurs too that are coming.
100%. 100%. Like the book is really heavy on the dinosaurs, which was great. Ethan nailed all that stuff, which I really loved. But I really wanted to bring, my background is history and military as well, and I really wanted to bring that to it and make sure it was a grounded Vietnam War movie. So it's very easy to make. I think it's very easy to make a dinosaur movie that we have mercenaries. And it could be gun ho, and it could be like these guys walking through the jungle, being like, "Oh, we're gonna kill some dinosaurs," and really cliche. And I wanted to feel like it's a platoon, and they accidentally walked onto the set of a Jurassic movie rather than mercenaries who are just in a dinosaur movie. So I got in the military advisors. I got Captain Dale Dye, who's one of the best military advisors around, Saving Private Ryan. He co-wrote Platoon, so he did a pass for me on the script. I asked him. I said, tell me, just give me it straight. Tell me what you think, and we can make changes, which I did. And then I brought out ex-Marine who works with Captain Dye and has his own amazing career as well. So he was on set every day, and him and Ryan got on really well. So Ryan really just listened to him, and I was able to say, hey, his name is Freddie Joe Farnsworth. He was in Band of Brothers and the Pacific as well. So I was able to say, hey, Freddie, I'm super busy with this. Get the guys, go take them for like 2 hours in the jungle while I set this up. And he would keep them training all through the shoot. Every time we were setting up a new scene, he would just take them out into the jungle and just teach tactics and keep them training, keep them sharp. And I think that really helped everyone.
Absolutely. So again, now, like I said, this is a total independent production. You don't have Disney money. So how did you get the special effects? Because I was floored with how this looked. Now I've seen online some people nitpicking and complaining. Dude, I've seen millions of movies throughout my life. I saw this on the big screen. I had no like it looks phenomenal. Like this is my favorite picture right here. Like I love like this is such a badass picture, like with the knife sticking in one eye. So
Yeah,
like how did you generate the special effects for this? How were you able to create such realistic looking and awesome looking dinosaurs?
yeah. It's a hard question to answer because I've been working on it for so long. It's almost like
Yeah,
how do you breathe?
right.
It's just like it's like there's no secret button. You know what I mean? There's not like, hey, if you do this, you can make this movie. It's just really hard work. But you know, I went out there once before I even filmed it, but especially after I filmed it, I pounded the pavement to basically create my own effects house in a way, just for this movie. But now everyone wants to stay, which is kind of cool. But so I could have grabbed a few key people who I found who have worked on Godzilla or Jurassic or other dinosaur movies. And they were really keen on making like this really. I pitched it to them almost like a picture to an actor. Hey, you're amazing in your field. Would you come and work with me? Would you be my, animation director or my, my sculptor, make these dinosaurs? Would you work with me, just with me? And they were kind of keen to work on an indie film, even though they've been in the system. They liked that kind of better because they had direct contact with me. There wasn't like a huge studio production, and I kind of, again, like the actors, I let them have a bit of leash to be like, look, you can do some designs and you can animate some shots, yeah, as per what you think, and I'll just give you my direction. I'm not going to be some like stick in the mud and be like, you must do what I want, because that's not creative.
Right.
So I built this team, which ended up being like 160 artists by the end of these freelancers who were working for me, 365, 7 days a week, and it was just it's just a lot of work. Like I only delivered the film like a week ago, and we worked up until delivery, and we were doing 80. We did an 87 hour without sleep just to get the film delivered because we were just like go go go. Halfway through this film, I definitely thought I have bit off way more than I can chew. There is so much dinosaurs in this movie, but we pushed through and we got there, and I appreciate the comments.
There's so many different types of dinosaurs. So how did you like pick and choose? Like what? Obviously, you got the T Rex. You got to have the T Rex because that's such an iconic dinosaur and everything. But like I can't even remember the like. There's so many different variations of dinosaurs in this movie. So how did you approach that?
Part of it was from Ethan's book, and some of it I want to stay true to the book because I hate these franchises that just go off and just do something completely different with the IP. And while as a creator, I want to be able to do my own thing and have a little, hey, let's change this scene, let's do that. I think, this character could now be a woman or whatever the changes I made. I try to keep it pretty tight to the book. So there's definitely some, the dinosaurs were from the book. And there's some actually from the sequel books that I was like, you know what, cool little cameo for anyone who's read the book. Let's bring some sequel dinosaurs in and put them in this one. And there was just a couple that I just always wanted to see and always wanted to do. For example, in the book, there was a Caprasuchus, which is like a prehistoric crocodile seen on the
Hmm.
river, and we shot it that way. And then we got in a test audience, and they kind of didn't like. They were like, "We've seen crocodile movies, we've seen Lake Placid and Crawl and stuff like that. You should keep
Right.
it more dinosaurs." So we decided to make a Spinosaurus. So, and then the Jurassic trailer came out, and there was Spinosauruses everywhere, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But it's what it is.
Oh yeah, but I mean, obviously you're gonna like have dinosaurs from that movie like crossover because like there's only so many different breeds of dinosaurs. My personal favorite
Yeah.
was like right here, the Huey Gunner. Like that was like, oh my god, that was such an awesome like with the flying. Like what are the flying ones called? They're not pterodactyls. What
Yeah.
are those called again?
Yeah,
Do you
that's just always something I wanted to do. That's always something I wanted to do. Come to Vietnam without Hueys, and again, it's kind of like Chekhov's gun. You know what I mean? Stuff at the beginning of the film. I wanted to make sure people go, I wonder if there's going to be a fight with a Huey, and then you walk out and you go, no, that's a missed opportunity. So every single thing I was thinking about of how to raise the stakes, and Ethan, the author, had some awesome concept art done up, and one of them was, outside of a Huey looking down at a Quetzalcoatlus on it, and it's not in the book or anything, but again, it's a concept art, and I was like, you know what, let's just make that concept art real. So there's a few things like that I drew from different areas.
so let's okay. Of course, I'm not going to spoil anything because I want people to go see the movie. But the finale is like, listen, if It's everything and more that I could have wanted in a finale. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole movie hits the ground running, like from the beginning, like with the Green Berets and everything. And let me backtrack. I did love that, like how like the dinosaurs were kind of like in the mist. Like you really did it, like when the soldiers are going through the jungle, and you just kind of see them like one's over here and it runs across and everything. So I love how you did that kind of Jaws thing, like where like you don't see them right away, but then when you do see them, it's like bam. So talk about how like was that what you were going for to introduce them? Like, hey, let's do it where it's kind of like a mysterious thing at first, but then when it hits hard.
Yeah, I think there were some people out there, because I read the comments. There were some people out there that thought that might be the whole movie, because we'll go for the cheap way of having dinosaurs just in the shadows and in the thing, and you could definitely
No.
make a movie like that. But as for me, I like going big, and I even said to my post producer, I was like, you could make it this way, but you just get halfway through and just be like, oh, we've seen this before. It's back in the jungle, back in the shadows. We got to get out. We got to go big. So it kind of has this slow burn build up where you kind of like, oh yeah, there's some dinosaurs, and then by the time you get to the end, you go, is this the same? Is this the same movie that I saw like 2 hours ago? So yeah, it was done on purpose. It was like this like build up. I remember at the Sydney premiere, one of the actors who plays Miller, and he was sitting next to me, and he hadn't seen it before. It was his first time. And after without spoilers, there's a big attack on the base with Rexes and whatever. And he turned to me and he's like, "Wow, what a finale!" And I'm like, "It's not over yet, bro. It's not over yet." And he's like, "What?" And then he got to the end and he was just like, "What?"
So like your concept for the finale, was that what you already had planned, or were you like you started off with something, but then you just kept adding and kept adding and kept adding, and before you knew it, it was like it turned into what it was? Because I got to tell people, like, not without spoiling anything away, it is the most bombastic finale to any type of, whether it's a war movie or a dinosaur movie or like it's just I had the biggest smile on my face watching this. I was cheering. I was like, it's the best. Like I said, I can't spoil anything. I want to talk about it so much,
Sure.
and I won't.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it. But is that what happened? Did it just be?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Look, I have a smile on my face every time I watch that, and
Yeah.
like it's really for me selfishly, but I knew other people obviously would like it. But every time I see it, and when I did the sound mix and I put in choirs and everything else going on, I just stand at the back with my arms raised, going yes, because it's just even for me, I made it. But yeah, look, I love it, and it did. Look on the page. I knew I was always going to make it big, and on the page of the script, it's very hard to write that stuff down, and a lot of producers would freak out. So I creatively just have like a couple of paragraphs, like in a without spoiling it, it's certain lines that I wrote in there. It's just kind of like just a paragraph, and people go, oh yeah, that will be like a minute. And I'm like, yeah. And then I go on set, and I'm like, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And then we went back and reshot more, and then added more. And everyone was like, what is happening here? And then it really wasn't until even the producers themselves saw it finished that they were like, I get it. I get it. Because every time they watched a rough cut, it was just like, I don't understand what is happening here. But it was all in my head. So I was like, trust me. And they did.
So talk about a few weeks ago going to San Diego Comic-Con. That had to be a thrill. You were the first Australian independent movie to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and you're in one of the biggest rooms, right?
The second biggest room, ballroom 20, holds like 4,000 something people.
Right.
Yeah, look, again, as a film nerd, San Diego Comic Con, I stream it every year from Australia. So to be there, and it's not just to be there, but to be an independent film, but also not be a sequel, a reboot, a rehash, or whatever you want to call it these days. And to have a few panels before us, have 200 people in the audience, and they were calling us out the back, and they're like, look, don't worry about the attendance. It is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And we walked out there, and it was like thousands of people sitting there and more pouring in. And by the end, it was standing room only off one trailer, because we launched the second trailer at Comic-Con. I was like, man, this is crazy. You know what I mean? That's where you kind of know something must be working. And then a lot of pressure on my shoulders to but I knew what I had. So I knew I had that ending, you know what I mean? Because I knew the movie. So I'm sitting there and everyone's like, I hope this is a good movie. I'm like, I think it is. I think you're going to like it. It's not like I'm just like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. And then go away and people go, that movie sucked. So I felt confident the whole time on this movie. You know.
Absolutely. So I kind of wanted to share with you, like, and watch a little bit of the trailer with you, and then just get some of your take on it, because like this is the final trailer that I put up on my site, and
Okay. I
real
will have
quick,
to say
just
that I will have to say that I'm unfortunately at 4% battery. So if I cut out, I'm really sorry, and my phone will die.
no
Okay.
problem. I'll let you go in a couple of minutes. So again,
Okay.
like again, the look, the feel. I mean, this is like this has the makings of Platoon. It looks like Hamburger Hill. You had the visual style going, and like just and the Vulture Squad. I mean, I just love that concept about badasses going in search of other badasses that disappeared, and then they turn out that they're not badass because there's even something more badass out there waiting for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, like in the book, they're just called Vulture Squad. They all die. Yeah, he really got the military aspect for me. So these guys would probably be part of a recon unit, and the recon unit would have this breakdown, and really help me set that up so we could make it again like a leap of like a real grounded thing. So it's not just like these guys are just doing whatever they want. Like he helped me explain why they would be there for.
Right.
So yeah, all the guys, and then we get into the dinosaur action, obviously in the trailer, that they see all these crazy things like the
And I
cave
love,
scene. You know,
yeah,
like the cave scene is something that I really enjoy doing because it's just such a phonetic. You're not supposed to really know what you're looking at, like you would be in a cave, you know. And that wasn't in the book. That's something I added. So yeah,
and I just how love how you used "Fortunate Son" in the trailer, or whoever did it put it. That's like the perfect song for this. It just gets your blood pumping when you're watching it.
well, I actually made this. I cut the trailer myself,
You cut the trailer.
and I cut the trailer myself, and I got the rights to the song myself from John Fogerty.
That's he gave it to you.
We bought it.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
and again, and then you got Trisha Helfer again. It's in the trailer, so I'm actually not spoiling anything. But it's like she's doing some John Woo action, like where she's she's got the double gun. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like you got commandos, you got Trisha Helfer with double guns, and you got dinosaurs. Luke, I'm going to let you go here in a couple of minutes because your battery's done. I can't thank you enough for coming out. You just saw the movie again yourself. This is the first time I've ever interviewed the director as soon as I got out of the movie. I got to record. I got to record my trailer reaction. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to come out with my review. I am trying to pump this up as most as I can real quick. So obviously it premiered tonight. Now the other showings are this weekend. Give us some advertising on that.
Yeah, well, they're showing, in certain cinemas across the country. If we can, the big thing is, it's an independent film. Getting films in the cinemas are very hard these days. Keeping them there is even harder. So I really need people not to wait. I really need people to go and see it even if they're a little interested, and hopefully, enjoy it. Because if we can land, at least if we can get on the board this weekend of the American box office, I've been guaranteed that we can expand out to even more cinemas and more reach and all that kind of stuff. So again, it's been an uphill battle for me this whole time to make this movie, and now it's just another hurdle that I got to get people bums on seats to see it, and I hope they do. I hope you go out and see it.
I've been on the bandwagon since I first heard about it, Luke. And like I said, I'm such a fan of yours. I'm gonna try to pump it up the best I can. Hopefully, it gets out there and people see it. Because again, I know you spent a long time making this, but I would love to see you do follow-ups to this because, of course, there's more to tell, in the series.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I want to do a sequel very soon, very quickly. We have all the assets, we have the knowledge, we've got the team behind us that's like so keen on making this. Like really, everyone's blood, sweat, and tears, from the artists to the catering, really love this. They love being part of this movie. And it rarely happens in the film industry. Usually, you walk away and you lose contact and whatever. But everyone's sort of stuck together on this movie. So I'd love to do a sequel. There's more to tell, and have more fun.
Awesome. Like I said, Luke, I can't applaud it enough. Like I said, I had a big crowd when I saw it. People were cheering. People were loving it. I think it's the sleeper hit of 2025. We've had a lot of good action movies this year, but this pretty much this might you might be in my top 3, Luke. It might be at the end of the year. You might even be
Awesome.
number 1. You never know. You'll just have to wait and see. But
All right.
I can't thank you enough. And before your battery dies, I just want to say congratulations and continued success. And hopefully we talk in the future.
Thanks, man. Really
All right.
appreciate it.
Take it easy, Luke.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Luke Sparke, the director of Primitive War. Again, such a good. Oh my God, I can't stress enough how awesome this is and how violent and rip roaring, and it's just dinosaurs and soldiers and machine guns and explosions and people getting shredded apart. It's one of the most awesome action films of the year. You heard it from the man himself. So hopefully go out and see this movie, support it, so that way it gets into more theaters and we get a sequel, because that's what we want with this. Primitive War out in theaters now. This is John with Action-Flix.com saying be nice until it's time to not be nice. Take it easy, everybody, and I'll see you later.